Back with us now, former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf. Chad, it's good to see you. Let's get your reaction to this. Senator Josh Hawley pressed FBI Director Wray on House lawmakers discovering the FBI was targeting traditional Catholics for FBI surveillance. Watch this.
How many other parishes have you gone to talk to choir directors, for heaven's sake?
As I've
know the answer to that question.
No, I don't know the answer to that question. As soon as I saw it, I was aghast. I had it withdrawn.
Really, you were aghast?
I was.
Oh, really?
Yes,
and what
sir.
have you done about it? Did you fire the people who wrote it?
No, I had it withdrawn.
Have you fired anybody involved in it?
Senator, if you would give me a chance to answer
That's a
your
yes
question.
or a no. It's not hard. You haven't done a darn thing. You haven't fired anybody. You admonished them. They were admonished. And their respective supervisors were told to engage with the Human Resources Division to ensure that deficiencies are addressed. Oh, well, I feel much better. They've been sent to bed without food.
Ed, what do you think? What's going on here?
Well, I don't think that the FBI director is really understanding the seriousness, and I think that's what Senator Hawley was after, which is this is a big deal, and to simply sweep it under the rug and say, well, I've addressed it because I've sent out another memo, it doesn't really cut it, right? I think what Senator Hawley was asking is how pervasive is this throughout the FBI, and has he looked into that? Have you done an after-action report? And it doesn't appear that that's the case. And so the bigger issue here is that while there are real threats on our border, elsewhere, Hamas, that it seems as though the FBI is spending a considerable amount of resources targeting, in this case, the Catholic Church, or at least individuals going to Catholic Church, but also pro-life and other groups where that is not where they need to be spending the majority of their time. Yeah,
the FBI says it found a suspect who was arrested in possession of Molotov cocktails and firearm parts. But House Judiciary released a detailed report that the FBI Richmond office in Virginia did this controversial threat assessment memo targeting Catholics for surveillance for violent extremism that went to other FBI offices nationwide that included data from field offices in other states. So Catholics are saying, wait a second, how far and wide did this FBI surveillance extend?
Well, that's exactly right. And I think what would have been the more appropriate answer is for the director to say, not only did I withdraw that memo, but here are the other 5 steps that I have taken, including perhaps removing this individual from the Bureau entirely, or at least moving them to a different area. And so that's not what occurred. I think that's what the senator was very frustrated at. But I think that would have gone a long way to addressing some of those concerns.
So we have nearly 1,300 terrorists caught trying to cross the border. We have nearly 2 million gotaways. We don't know and the border's in a state of collapse. Nearly 9 million illegal immigrants crossing the border. We have 12,000 caught just today. They're coming on now since October, 500,000 potentially trying to cross. The border's in a state of collapse, but they're spying on Catholics. You know, NBC reported Democrat Henry Cuellar of Texas told White House officials do something, get tough on the border. But they said back to him, quote, it would anger our immigration advocates. It would anger our folks on that. Is Biden president of America or president of his donor groups and his voter base? Which is it?
Well, I think that's a great question. Everything that they seem to be doing along the border does not have the American interest in mind. It continues to be what's best for illegal aliens and individuals that knowingly break the law 12,000 times a day using your number. This is what they care most about. It's unfathomable, I think, to most Americans and to those of us that served in an administration where law enforcement, the rule of law came first. And the border just continues. It's hard to actually say what's going on because it gets worse every single day. But at the end of the day, this is exactly what this administration wants to occur on the border. They've had almost 3 years to change course, and they're not doing it.
Chad Wolf, thanks for coming on. It's good to see you.
Yeah.